is the most important season for Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor's entering his 5th year with the Jaguars organization, and this is his 3rd coaching staff. That says a lot about this organization. They have not put him in the most stable situation year in and year out. Whenever you're changing coaching staffs, you have to learn a brand new system. You have to gel with brand new coaches. His first year in the NFL was a complete nightmare with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer is going to go down as one of, if not the worst head coach in NFL history. He didn't even make it out through the entire season. The man did not even know who Aaron Donald was at the time. So they fire him. In year 2, they go with Doug Peterson and Press Taylor being their offensive coordinator. Now, you saw some success in year 2. They went to the NFL playoffs against the Los Angeles Chargers. In the first half of that matchup, if you're a Jaguars fan, you might have turned the game off. Trevor Lawrence had the 4 interceptions. He bounces back in the second half, looks amazing. That is still the best stretch of football that I've seen him play. Those last 2 quarters, he was phenomenal. They go out there, they win that playoff game. The next week against Kansas City, Trevor Lawrence is playing very well, but it came down from a couple of drops to Christian Kirk, and they lose that matchup. But it's okay. You went from being a rebuilding team over those last few years. You go to the playoffs in year number 2 with Trevor Lawrence. You're working with something there. Unfortunately, in year 3, they'll start off 8-3. You'll look at Trevor Lawrence's numbers in year 2. That's the best stretch that he's played in his career statistically. He had 25 passing touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Year 3, 21 passing touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Even though they started off 8-3, they will go on a massive losing streak because Trevor Lawrence went down with that ankle injury against the Cincinnati Bengals, and he decided to go out there. He finished the season. He did not look the same as the season went on because he was playing injured. And Doug Peterson, at that point in time, was a lot of rumblings that he possibly lost the locker room. He fired the defensive coordinator. The defense wasn't the same. Now, I'll say this about Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson would possibly still be the head coach with the Jaguars if he was to go out there and also fire Press Taylor. When he brought in a brand new DC, he should have brought in a brand new offensive coordinator as well. And I understand if you're a Jaguars fan, you're saying that doesn't make any sense. Why would you go out there and bring in yet a brand new offensive coordinator? He has to learn a brand new scheme. This is the counterpoint. Doug Peterson is an offensive head coach. He could have helped Trevor Lawrence go out there and learn that system. We just saw Nick Sirianni fire 2 coordinators, both of them. Bring in 2 brand new coordinators, they go to the Super Bowl. It can happen. Press Taylor was such a bad coach with the Jaguars that it wasn't funny. He was one of the worst offensive coordinators last season. They're in the bottom in the league in terms of going out there and running motion plays. You have to run motion in today's NFL. And I'm not saying go out there and run motion like the Miami Dolphins every single play, but it gives the quarterback a clear vision of the field. Whenever you just go out there and you just run this base offense over and over again, it's going to hurt you. Defenses can just sit. And Trevor Lawrence has struggled against blitzes because of that. I look at what Kellen Moore just did with Jalen Hurts last season. They used more blitzes. He got a better look out of it. And it helped open up rushing lanes for the running backs. So the coaching staff hasn't been the best here. They go out there, they fired Doug Peterson from last season. Trevor Lawrence wasn't able to stay fully healthy. Now, I made all those excuses for Trevor Lawrence, and I feel like those are valid excuses to why he hasn't played up to that generational talent label when he first came to the NFL. I don't blame all that on Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people in the national media, they were saying that he was going to be the next Andrew Luck, be the next John Elway. They compared him to those quarterbacks. Even though the coaching staff hasn't been the best, that's a valid point to stand on. Trevor Lawrence has to play better. They gave this man a massive contract over a year ago. They need to see more consistency out of Trevor Lawrence. The first half of the 2023 season played very good until he got injured. 2022 played very good. But he still has these moments to where he's like a deer in headlights against the blitz. The same against certain coverages, especially cover 3. He needs to be better. And he missed a lot of throws last year, especially against the Buffalo Bills. They need Trevor Lawrence to step up, and they need him to be that franchise guy. And I believe that he will be that franchise guy with Liam Cohen. When I look at Trevor Lawrence, he can make every single throw that you want him to. He has very good athleticism outside the pocket. We're still just waiting around for him to just showcase that he can be that guy. And maybe he'll never be that top 5 quarterback. That's fine. If he can be a top 10 quarterback, that's great for Jacksonville because of the defensive pieces that you have and because the offensive weapons you have around Trevor Lawrence right now. In the past, he got to play with Christian Kirk. Not a bad player, not a true number 1. He got to play with Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is a very good wide receiver. You listen to this channel for quite some time. I'm a huge Calvin Ridley fan. He's one of the best route runners in football. The connection was not always there. Evan Ingram was a very good tight end with Jacksonville. Dealt with a lot of injuries. And I look at the wide receiving core that they have now. It's better than the wide receiving core that they had last season. Gabe Davis had his moments, but he couldn't even finish out the entire season. He had a knee injury. And with the Buffalo Bills, he had his moments, but he has a lot of drops as well. It's the reason why he is still a free agent as I record this video. So now you have some consistent perimeter threats outside of Trevor Lawrence. I look at someone like Brian Thomas Jr. He's a cornerstone player. This is a franchise wide receiver. Trevor Lawrence could not finish out last season. That's another problem as well. The injuries with him because of bad offensive line play. Shoulder injury, got concussed in the matchup against the Houston Texans, just a dirty hit, and the ankle injury. But when I look at someone like Brian Thomas Jr., you played games last year with Mac Jones and the same with Trevor Lawrence, and you were able to have the third most receiving yards in football. He's already a top wide receiver. He had 87 catches, 1,282 receiving yards, 10 receiving touchdowns. He's a great player. Then you trade up in the first round, you get Travis Hunter. In my opinion, Travis Hunter is a better wide receiver than he is a cornerback. And I think that Travis Hunter has ability to be an all-pro in football. It's the reason why the depth chart just came out. It's unofficial, but a depth chart came out as I record this video. He's listed as a number 2 wide receiver. He's a number 3 cornerback. They want to give him reps on both sides of the football. Right now, they need him on the offensive end. They need him to be that number 2 wide receiver outside of Brian Thomas Jr. So in that standpoint, you just can't go out there and you just can't double team Travis Hunter. You just can't go out there and double team Brian Thomas Jr. And it opens up the field for Trevor Lawrence. This is still about Trevor Lawrence and building around him. I know there's a lot of hype right now with Travis Hunter, rightfully so. But when I look at this brand new general manager, he has a different mindset than Trent Baalke. Let's be aggressive. Let's go out there. Let's bring in these young coaches to work with Trevor Lawrence. Let's try to put as much talent around him as possible. And if it doesn't work out, we have our answer. And it's not like you're going to be able to go out there and move off of Trevor Lawrence after this upcoming year. He signed a massive contract extension a year ago. So they need Trevor Lawrence to be that franchise guy long-term, week in and week out. And when I look at this division, I'll say right now, no disrespect to the Jacksonville Jaguars fan base, the Houston Texans, they are the best team in this division entering this year. Then I'll say it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have the Jaguars over the Tennessee Titans and the same with the Indianapolis Colts. The Titans, rookie quarterback with Cam Ward. The Colts, they're having a quarterback battle between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. I'll take Trevor Lawrence over both of those quarterbacks right now. So there is no reason to why this team cannot contend and possibly win this division. And it's a bad look for Trevor Lawrence. I look at someone like CJ came into a terrible situation with the Houston Texans. They go out there, they win this division in back-to-back years. They've won a playoff game in back-to-back years. CJ now seems like the generational talent. Jaden Daniels just went to the NFC Championship game this previous year with the Washington Commanders. And you look at Trevor Lawrence, bad situation. Stability hasn't been there, but he still needs to play better. Two things can be true. Trevor Lawrence has not played to his best potential, and the Jaguars have not put him in the best situation. I believe both things are true. But the offensive weapons that you have around Trevor Lawrence right now, they should help propel his career moving forward. And he also has to stay healthy. The running back room, this is why I love the hire of Liam Cohen. Now, Liam Cohen did great work at the college level with Will Levis and Kentucky. One of the best offenses that Kentucky has seen in their history. He goes out there, he gets to work with the Los Angeles Rams and Sean McVay. Sean McVay loves him. He became the offensive coordinator last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were in the bottom of the league in the last 3 years in terms of rushing efficiency. They had a top 10 run game last season with Liam Cohen. They ran that offense through their running backs and through Baker Mayfield. I look at Trevor Lawrence. You have two very good running backs in the backfield with you. I look at Tank Bigsby, was a very good player last year. As a matter of fact, he was their best running back. He has 766 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. Travis Etienne, on the other hand, took a major step back. His first 2 years in the NFL, over 1,000 yards rushing. He missed his entire first season dealing with a foot injury. I am worried about him, but I still believe that he will be a very good player. He only averaged 3.7 yards a carry, 558 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He became an afterthought. Press Taylor seemed like they were done with him. And the same with Doug Peterson. He got into the doghouse there. He doesn't have the same explosive plays that he once had coming out of Clemson. And a lot of that is because of the injury that he suffered in his first year. If he can't be that same explosive player, catching the football out of the backfield, making defenders miss in the hole, it may be time to just lean more towards Tank Bigsby and possibly bring in another running back. But I really hope that Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby can split carries and they can take that pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. And do not be shocked that Trevor Lawrence plays like a top 10 quarterback this year. Even though Liam Cohen is the head coach, he's not the offensive coordinator. That is Grant Udinski. He's a young coach. He's 28 years old. Once again, you're getting younger. You went from a coaching staff with Press Taylor, the same with Doug Peterson, the same with Urban Meyer. All those coaches, they're older. They've been around the NFL. They've been around the football scene for a very long time. You get these younger coaches, it can help Trevor Lawrence build a relationship with them on and off the field. I never got the sense that Doug Peterson was that close with Trevor Lawrence. But I look at someone like Liam Cohen. He built a close relationship with Baker Mayfield. He got a close relationship with Will Levis at Kentucky. You get a close relationship with these players, it can go a long way. And the thing is this with Grant. He has NFL experience, not as a play caller, but as a quarterback's coach. With the Minnesota Vikings, he comes from that Kevin O'Connell tree. So both of these guys, they have that connection with Sean McVay, with Kevin O'Connell. And whenever those coaches, you see them pop up, they always produce top offenses in football. The same with Mike McDaniel. He's from that tree as well with Kyle Shanahan. And now look at this offensive line. Very good players here. They're just young. Walker Little, I think that he can be a very good left tackle long term. He's just young right now. Anton Harrison has had some big time moments in the past. Robert Hainsey, he comes over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a consistent center. Now, is he a top center to have in football? Hell no. But you want to just have a center to go out there, have a good relationship with your quarterback, have a good relationship with the coach, just do your job. I am worried about the interior of this offensive line with Ezra Cleveland. We'll see if he can be a good player long term. And the same with Patrick at the right guard position. But I look at this play action system that Liam Cohen was able to use with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of motion to the right and to the left, getting the quarterback and using their athleticism outside the pocket. That's what he did with Baker Mayfield. And I believe that Trevor Lawrence is a better athlete than Baker Mayfield. And let him use his legs in open space. The offense and the possibilities are endless. But it comes down to Trevor Lawrence. So offensively, they should be better. Now, defensively, it's been a struggle. They have regressed every single year over the last 3 years. And they have very good defensive players. This is why it was important to bring in a brand new defensive coordinator. Ryan Nielsen, I look at him as a DC, wasn't particularly good with the Jaguars. I look at someone like Anthony. Now, Anthony, he's the old veteran coach out of Grant, and the same with Liam Cohen. He's been around the NFL for a very, very long time. He's 42 years old. Got to be a defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach from Boston College at 2018. Got to become the linebackers coach from 2020 and 2023 with the Miami Dolphins. He is known for generating pressure up front. And every single coach that he's worked with in the past, they say glowing things about him. You have a bunch of pass rushers up front that should be able to get to the quarterback on a consistent basis. I look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a very good player. Only had 8 sacks last season, 1 forced fumble. Trayvon Walker has been a very good player. 10.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. But you expect more out of those big players up front. I know that a lot of people, they give Trent Baalke a lot of criticism. They'll say that you went with Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson is a very good football player. He's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. But Trayvon Walker is very good against the run, can now generate a lot of pressure against the quarterback. They just need to be more consistent. And a lot of that is just with defensive schemes up front. The way that they ran their defensive coverages last year really just confused me because they rarely ran any twist, any stunts up front. When you look at players like TJ Watt, they move them around. The same with Alex Highsmith with the Steelers. You look at all-time great pass rushers. They had all-time greats to go out there and move them around. I look at Josh Allen. This man can easily go out there and have over 12 sacks in the season, and the same with Trayvon Walker. Move those players around and get them going and come up with different looks. Don't just be lazy and just let them put their hand in the dirt and just say win at the point of attack. That's not good coaching. That's piss poor effort. Eric Armstead, you have him at the defensive tackle position. He's a solid defensive tackle. He's not going to go out there and be a game changer for you, but he's solid. You have Olakon. I think that he's a very good linebacker. He's slept on. Look at Devin Lloyd. He's also a slept-on linebacker. His numbers have regressed over the last 2 years, but he can still be the best linebacker with this team. 2 sacks last season, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception. Just a very good, speedy linebacker. There's still a lot of work to be done with defensive coverages and the same with those defensive players up front stepping up. And this is how I know it's not all on Trevor Lawrence. While he hasn't played his best, this defense has regressed every single year underneath these general managers and the same with the coaches on their watch. They're not going out there. They're not helping prepare their careers either. And you have a lot of talent on this defense. Now look at Travis Hunter here. Let's talk about him again for a second. As a wide receiver, I think he's going to be special. They want to play him on both sides of the ball. If you want Travis Hunter to go out there and to be that dual threat player, it's going to come with a cost, I believe. You can't have him go out there every single game and guard a wide receiver like Nico Collins on one drive. Then the next drive, he's getting guarded by someone like Derek Stingley Jr. This is the problem that you're going to run into. They're going to run the football his way. They're going to try to tire him out. They're going to keep him in action over and over again. It's unrealistic to ask him to play both sides of the ball every single week without asking for injuries. Let's knock on wood and hope that doesn't happen. If he can play both sides of the ball at a high level, he could be an MVP type of player within the next few years. But look at the secondary that they have. On paper, it's a lot of good talent here. Even without Travis Hunter being a starting cornerback, Tyson Campbell, he just has to stay healthy. I'll never forget his rookie season. He was right there with Sauce Gardner in terms of being a top cornerback, but injuries have held him back within the last few years. You draft Caleb Ranshaw, who was a very good cornerback in zone coverage. Now, he can go out there. He can play safety for you. He can play the nickel cornerback position. He can be an outside corner. But I think that he's going to be a very good player. And you draft him with the 88th pick coming out of Tulane. You go out there, you bring in Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis is a very good nickel cornerback. He's coming off a very good season last year, where he had 1 interception, 8 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble. And he's a very good tackler in space. You sign Levi Wallace to be a rotational cornerback in short yardage situations as a starter. He's going to be terrible for you. But if you just bring him in as the 3rd cornerback or 4th cornerback on your roster, that's solid. I look at the safeties that they have. We'll see if they can step up big time. But Eric Murray, I think that he's solid enough at the strong safety position. So there's a lot of talent here in the secondary without Travis Hunter. If you want him to be that primary cornerback every single week, you're going to have to take away some of those offensive responsibilities. But I think they need him more so on the offensive end than they need on the defensive end right now. And I wish they would run more quarters on the back end of their defense. It's just a bunch of man coverage over the last 2 to 3 years. Sure, you want to run man coverage in certain situations, but when you go against quarterbacks like CJ and they have a great wide receiver, Nico Collins, on the outside, do you trust your cornerbacks every single drive to go out there and stick with them? And you're depending on your pressure up front? Just give them different looks on the back end. Play some single high safety. Play some cover two. Just play some different looks. And they haven't done that in the past with this defense. And they have the athleticism to do so. Do I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will go out there and win this division? Right now, I would say no, but I still do believe that they could make the NFL playoffs. You don't have to win your division to make the NFL playoffs. It comes down to 2 things here. Can your defense drastically improve with a brand new defensive coordinator and Anthony? And can Trevor Lawrence live up to the hype of being the first overall pick many years ago? And one more thing before I let you guys go. I know a lot of people are going to say that Trevor Lawrence hasn't been this guy. He hasn't stepped up. It's the reason why this organization had back-to-back first overall picks with Trevor Lawrence and the same with Trayvon Walker because of how bad ownership has been and how bad the general managers have been in the past. But I believe brighter days are ahead for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about Trevor Lawrence? Is he a bust in your opinion, or is he just staying the course so far? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.